Right, so I'm gonna kickstart into it. So thank you for having us here today. So today we're gonna have a very interesting topic on how AI is disrupting or sparking disruption in innovation in Asia and Southeast Asia. We have a good lineup of panelists over here in multiple different industries as well, and we're gonna see how AI is affecting the whole economic development and innovation in this region. So Asia itself is quite interesting because it's a vast region. Plus Southeast Asia, we have about 4.7 billion population. We speak over 2,300 languages. We have economic powerhouse such as China, Japan, and India. And also, Asian countries are major contributors to global data generation. Widespread use of smartphones, as well as internet services, drive vast amount of data that's collected with few advancement in AI and other technologies. So I'm going to kick in straight in terms of asking our fellow panelists here, any one of you can actually take this question. So how is AI technology specifically disrupting the innovation scene in Asia right now?
Yeah. Hi, thanks Tan, and great question, yeah. So hi, my name is Edwin from Imagine AI. We provide the solutions for automation, AI vision, and robotics. We are based in Malaysia. Now, over the years and experience with clients and our customers in Malaysia as well as in the region, Southeast Asia, we found that the adoption going forward was a little bit slow. At the beginning, it was quite difficult to really get industries and adoption of this technology for various reasons. Maybe they're afraid of it, complicated. Maybe they think it's too expensive. All right, so. I think that there are great opportunities in Southeast Asia, especially when the way that the technology is changing so fast now that it can bring it down to a point where it's so affordable and accessible to everybody. That's one. Number two is so easy. It can be used so easily by everyone. I think that we just need to build that bridge for the companies and the users to understand this. And that will really open up a lot of opportunities. And because, as you see in the trend in AI, with all this generative AI going forward, it actually would give a lot of companies and a lot of their people, the employees in the company, so much free time. The productivity will increase, will shoot through the roof. A lot of the menial processes will be automated away, and the employees will have so much free time they can concentrate on doing other things, right? Perhaps more revenue-generating activities for the companies, and it not only will improve the productivity, but it will actually this deflationary. It will bring the cost down of many businesses. So again, these are really great opportunities for Asian companies or Southeast Asian companies.
Right. So I hear that it's efficiency, effectiveness, automation in what you said, Edwin. So I think that is a general disruption from your perspective. I think that's quite general as well. So what about William from your end? How has AI actually from your perspective and from your experience from iFLYTEK, how has the AI technology disrupt the innovation scene in this region?
Yeah, okay. I came here for beyond last year, and this year when I'm coming here and sitting here and talking about how AI can interrupt the innovations of Asia and Southeast Asia, I feel much more excited and delighted to share some ideas, because from last year I can see many changes in various industries, like healthcare, education, and smart city, and also the other industries like financial and retail. They are using AI to improve their efficiency and to enhance the customer experiences. Yeah. Especially after the launching of large language model, and there are many things and solutions we can imagine to disrupt the innovations. Yeah. So when we use the artificial intelligence to disrupt the innovations, there are lots of things we can do, and that really makes me excited. Yeah, yeah.
Great, thanks. Khan, I'd love to hear from you because you're from TikTok. And how has AI actually changed the scene from your perspective?
Yeah, thank you for great questions, Warren. Hi, everyone. My name is Khan. I'm with the monetization strategy team at TikTok. That's my day job, my night job. I'm also serving as an investor in residence with a Singapore-based venture capital fund as well. So to answer Warren's questions there, I think from my perspective, having been in the social media industry for almost 4 years now, we see a constant challenge by our advertiser, our clients who want to work with a platform like TikTok or YouTube or Instagram, complaining about the difficulty of creating a good enough creative for them to advertise on our platform. And this is a constant challenge, not just for Southeast Asia regions, but we've seen that across the world as well, especially in developed world where the cost of creative production is very high. And so what we and many other companies in the space have been doing a lot is investing a lot in AI GC solutions to help our advertiser reduce that challenge from producing very high quality creative that would catch the audience attentions and be able to qualify as a good TikTok in our book. And just 2 days ago, TikTok announced a new product called TikTok Symphony, which is, I would say, a groundbreaking creative solutions for our clients and our advertiser, because using this product, advertiser and our clients can do everything from script writing to producing their creative using just a whole bunch of static images and all that, cutting down a whole bunch of the costs that normally they would have to incur from running a campaign on TikTok or on YouTube, on Instagram. And so this is a very exciting development for us, and I think that's something that I think advertiser and clients, especially in the e-coms sectors across South Asia, will be looking forward to as well.
Okay, so like 3 of you over here, because your businesses started off with using a lot of AI into it, and you depend on AI, you use AI as part of your business model. So when it comes to traditional businesses that are out there right now, how has AI actually have an impact on them? How does it disrupt the traditional businesses we have out there?
Yeah, in China, iFLYTEK is a leading AI company, and we have lots of solutions for various industries like smart city, like education, and also consumer products. And also in Southeast Asia, like Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and also Thailand. Yeah, we are using AI to provide the solutions for various industries. And there are some, I think AI is having impacts on various industries. And for example, when we use a large language model for the financial services, especially in call center and also chatbots, and we can enhance the customer experience. The interaction is becoming more fluent. And several years ago, when you talked with the chatbot, you just feel that it was horrible. But now, you can feel that it is professional. So that is a typical example in healthcare and also in financial industries, and also in entertainment, in social media. We can improve the efficiency of the subtitle. It can just recognize the speech to text, And also for
I
the
think that's
translation.
what we have today at the prompt.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well,
because
right?
this
Just
is
translate
yeah,
immediately.
Yeah, this is from the solution is from iFLYTEK. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing, right? So, Edwin, love to hear from you in terms of how has AI, and particularly from your industry and what you're doing in imaging,
Yeah.
transformed traditional businesses.
Yeah, we have been offering AI solutions for many years now, so I think from 2017 onwards. And at the beginning, we can see that, again, like I mentioned just now, adoption is very, very slow, right? However, you can see that there's an inflection point, like maybe in 2020, where suddenly a lot of companies started engaging us. But again, those were large companies. You know, our clients would be like MNCs like KDDI, Dyson, Shimano, Panasonic, big companies that can afford the expensive solutions, millions and millions of solutions. And because of these companies, we were very lucky. We got about $2 million dollars worth of sales revenue last year, right? But what about the medium companies and the smaller companies? That's where we realized there's a gap there whereby the adoption, I'm not sure when you meant traditional, meaning those that are maybe manually, not so automated, not so technologically driven, and or maybe there are smaller companies, right, or SMEs. And that's where we find that there's all this technology available for them, but perhaps number one, they can't afford it, and number two, they don't understand it. So what we set out to do was to provide a kind of a AI as a service, a kind of a SaaS model. Instead of those customized projects that we do for the big companies, of course, they're good for me, right? But for the smaller companies, maybe they can't afford it. So we provided a SaaS model for them, essentially a kind of a tool for them to develop their own AI applications for their own pain points. Right? So basically, it's a very simple, no-code software that allows the company or individuals to develop their own AI solutions. And that is actually great because they themselves, the business themselves, know their business inside out, right? They know their pain points, they're experts in the industry, and that's where they can identify, okay, this is my pain point, and maybe I can use this AI solution to automate this pain point, right? Or to solve this pain point, right? Example I give you is that using our software SaaS model, we developed together with a recruitment agency or HR company an automation solution for hiring. So, and we sat down with the HR manager and we found that, okay, number one is they have to read through hundreds and hundreds of resumes just to fill one vacancy. But more importantly, the second point, at least in Malaysia, I'm not sure in other countries, the HR manager was telling us that they actually had to spend a lot of time calling the candidate one by one to ask for some missing information, some gaps that were not in the resume, and they wanted to know to be able to better evaluate the candidate. And a lot of time is actually spent calling the candidates. Some of them may prove to be fruitful, some may just turn out to be, okay, after I get the information, we get rejected, right? So again, there's the whole cycle of calling and talking to hundreds of people, all right? So what we did was just automate the whole process where you scan the resume in, the AI reads it, of course, OCR, NLP, it automatically does the form filling, and then there's an RPA that automatically identifies where the missing fields are. Of course, the HR manager can customize their own questions for specific job. And from there, the missing information, right, the RPA will automatically email the candidate to request for this missing information. And finally, once all the data is accumulated, then it just give AI just give a basic layer filtering vetting of the resumes, right? So instead of hundreds of resumes, they only need to read 20 or something like that, right? So yeah, I wouldn't have been able to develop that solution if without the input of the HR manager or the recruitment companies, right? So what we like to do is like we provide the tools to these companies, these subject matter experts, and then from there they can develop their AI solutions for their own industries. Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to circle back to you later on adoption challenges, like in terms of would it be a threat for these traditional businesses or opportunities? But I'll come back to you on that. But I'd like to hear from Khan in terms of how does it transform traditional businesses using TikTok, right? So because it's a very different kind of target market as well, and what kind of businesses are you transforming using your platform?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a great question. So yeah, I think, we as a platform at TikTok has been disrupting a lot of traditional business, right? With the live streaming models that we offer, the e-commerce with TikTok Shop that we offer as well. Obviously, foremost AI company. We adopting a lot of the latest solutions in AI, in live streaming, in these kind of platforms. We have, case study of many of these like traditional vendors from the remote mountainous regions of Vietnam, Indonesia, fully utilizing a platform like TikTok to live stream their merchandise and products and helping their families with the funds they need because it's a tough economies out there and their jobs could have been lost because of budget cuts from their main employers, etc. So obviously, for live streaming, for example, we're implementing a lot of solutions to help merchants to like predict their supply shortage or forecast demand, etc. That the merchants can understand ahead of time, so that they can stock up their merchandise ahead. So it's definitely, I think, a lot of like life-changing kind of like case study that we've come across the regions as well.
Yeah, Khan, just follow up on that in terms of the value creation using AI on TikTok. What is the key value proposition over there using AI in terms of developing content on TikTok, especially for like businesses using your platform, using AI into developing that value for them? If you can elaborate a little bit more in how AI play a significant role in disrupting how traditional businesses would actually perform versus using AI on TikTok.
Yeah, so one example I can give, and this is not specific to TikTok, but from my perspective as an investor in the regions too, I think there's a very quick emergence of these sort of like e-coms, data analytics platform software that can take your historical data of your customer purchase behavior, etc. On a platform such as Amazon, Shopee, Lazada, and eventually TikTok Shop, in order to help that merchants be able to predict, upcoming big sales events, for example, Singles Day, 11/11. How many products do you need to stock up for those occasions, and how many, based on past behavior, consumer patterns, what are some of the latest trends that you should be look out for to stock up certain products, beauty, fashions, etc. So we do think, even outside of our capacity like TikTok, there's a lot of exciting solutions out there from an e-com solutions perspective that can help these merchants manage their inventory, predict demand much better.
Right, great insight. Thank you for that. William, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more in terms of your solution using AI. As we know that there's so many languages spoken in this region and around the world. And for your platform and your product and services and your solution, how do you mitigate that? How do you make it work? Yeah, tell us a bit more. How does AI help in terms of making that possible?
Okay. Yeah, this is a very good question because, I like learning languages. I learned English and Japanese, and I just started to learn Bahasa Malaysia. But still, it is very hard for a person to maybe master more than 5 languages. It is very hard, and also it was very hard for an engine to recognize so many languages. And iFLYTEK has been focusing on speech technology for about 25 years. And at the beginning, we launched our text-to-speech engine, and later we launched our speech-to-text engine. It is improving by improving by maybe several years. And several years ago, we just have several engines, maybe more than 10 engines for about 70 languages, including Chinese and Bahasa, Japanese, Russian, French, and Spanish, and many other languages, and even the languages in Africa. And if we make it very useful for various scenarios, it is very hard. And but since last year, the large language model, it is interaction model, but it is not a speech model. But since the last year, we have been developing the large speech model. With one engine, it can recognize 70 languages or more. Yeah, we have launched the new engine last year, and now still have been optimizing the languages. And we use many data from different languages to optimize these engines. And I think with time goes and with more and more data, with more and more training, and it will perform better and better. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So that's the power of AI. And I'd like to jump into challenges as well and circle back to Edwin in terms of, what are the challenges that you actually experience in terms of AI adoption in traditional business? Is that a threat to them, or is that an opportunity for all these traditional business to lap on the AI?
Yeah. Well, I definitely think there's opportunity for everyone, and it's just to understand where the opportunities are. So coming back to the challenges is, what we find in Southeast Asia is what I said just now about the lack of knowledge and understanding of the technology, as well as the fear. Right? A lot of business owners, like you mentioned, traditional maybe, they would think that, wow, is this going to be very complex? Do I need to be a programmer? Do I need to hire AI developers or engineers to do this? And there's this fear of taking a leap to adopt the technology, right? That's the first challenge. The second challenge would be a lot of the traditional businesses and business owners, they would evaluate the investment in terms of labor cost saving, right? So they immediately translate, okay, if I'm going to invest this amount, how much manpower I'm going to save? And the challenge in Southeast Asia is that labor is relatively cheap, all right? A lot of our processes are very manual. We talk about industries, but what about the agriculture? The primary industries and a lot of other like service industry, F&B, we depend a lot on relatively low-cost labor. And so if you want to talk about the investment in technology just in terms of labor cost saving, it doesn't justify the investment, right? And the thing is that in Asia as well, a lot of labor do multitasking, multi-activities. For example, the grader in a plantation that's grading and sorting the fruits, for example, could also be doing weeding or irrigation, disposing the rubbish. They do many different activities. So you just automate one thing, they may think it's not worth it. So what we need to do to overcome these two challenges, the first one is to simplify the technology. Make it so easy to adopt, make a tool that you don't need any programming. They can actually implement the solution straight away, right? Literally like WhatsApp or Microsoft Office, just drag and drop, right? So that's the first step. And then the second step would be to allow, and it's a concurrent, right? Once they are able to adopt, at least to take baby steps to adopt the technology, that's where they then start to see the value of the data acquisition. And then realize that it's not just as simple as how many workers can I save and how many workers can I cut down. And I see that with my clients as well. Usually the clients, they can't take that jump to a full-blown project. hundreds of thousands or millions, right? They start off at a very entry level, like just probably a SaaS level, to just get the data acquisition or digitalization. And after 5-6 months, they see how powerful the data is. They can pull out the data, like, give me the past 6 months downtime report, blah, 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 all right? That's where they start automatically asking for more, and like, can I do other things? Can I do, because at the beginning it's manual data logging, so after a while they realize, oh, it's so difficult to do manual logging, can I do IoT sensors, or can I do automation? No? So that's where they come back for more, right? So I think that's where the main challenge is to make them take that leap of faith at the beginning. We've got to maybe simplify it for their understanding. And number two, try to convince them that the ROI is not just on human cost saving, but in the value of the data. And once they experience it, they automatically can see it for themselves. Yeah.
So simplicity and the value of the AI technology that helps them become more effective and efficient in a way, right? So William, what about any kind of challenges that you face, in your sector or in your current company right now in terms of using AI?
Yeah, I think the issue is that the differences of regulations and privacy
Data
policies.
protection and privacy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, when we go to the markets of Singapore and Malaysia and also Thailand and Indonesia and also Middle East Asia, and the regulations and private policies are different from countries to countries, and I think the issue is that how we can use this data legally and also technically. When we train our new engine, we need lots of data, and so how we get this data, and of course collect this data legally. And first we have to obey the regulations and the laws of these countries, and the second, how we can protect the private information technically and legally. Of course, now technically we are designing new engines that can use less data but better performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I think that is very, very important. Yeah. And also we cooperate with the local companies, especially big companies like the banks, the financial companies, and also the local government to protect the private informations. Yeah, to make it legally and that we can use this data. Yeah.
So ethical responsibility in using the data. And as we are speaking here today, I think data privacy is getting tighter and tighter as we speak. And I think that's a case that we can see as well. Like, for example, TikTok, that America is going to ban TikTok from it due to data and privacy. So how do we mitigate this? So would this be a hindrance in the future for AI due to this? Or would it be something that we can navigate through?
Yeah, it's a great question, Wern, and I know that one's coming as well. Many people have called me and asked about, the U.S. Potential ban on TikTok in the U.S. as well. We see that, both as a challenge and opportunities, of course. I think unlike the U.S. or Europe, I think Williams and Edwin's echo this as well. I think the lack of a region-wide, I think, data privacy regulatory framework is a bit of like a determinant to a lot of like outside investor, VC, startup when they're thinking about scaling across region-wide, because it takes a lot of time to understand the data privacy in a particular countries, particular regions, etc. For a social media platform such as Facebook or TikTok, the locations of the data center is extremely important for us because that's essentially the lifeblood of the business, right? And even up until today, it's not very clear, and there isn't a real ASEAN-wide, approach to data privacy of the end user. For example, does the government have the authority to ask for and access the end consumer right and privacy in that particular country? I don't think we have a clear, answer to that. And what happened so far is it's only been a case-by-case basis, and I think could be a clear deterrent to foreign investors looking into the regions as well.
Right, so I think we still need to look into a more responsible framework for that. And we are almost out of time, so I have one last question for each one of you. What would be the key future trend for AI going into the future that could shape the tech ecosystem? So we'll start off with William. Your closing statement in key trends that could shape the AI tech ecosystem.
Yeah, I think we have to collaborate with various industries. That is a very important track. Yeah.
Various industry, all right. Edwin.
All right. Okay. It's an interesting question. I was just came back last week from SushiTech in Japan and had an opportunity to attend a presentation by Taizo Son, and he gave an analogy of sushi. I think everybody understands what a sushi is, right? And there are many different types of sushi. You have the tuna and the salmon and the ebi, but the base layer is always the same, right? It's always the rice, right? It's only the meat is different. And on top of the meat, then you have the topping, like wasabi and mayonnaise or whatever you want. So again, that is different. And that was a really interesting analogy because he compared that to the AI ecosystem, because he mentioned about ecosystem, and he did say that you have all these huge companies that are developing all these large language models, right? You have OpenAI and you have Meta and of course Google, and that will be the base, that will be the rice, all right? But it's not going to be a point where they're going to monopolize everything, because the application and the local knowledge is where Asian countries and Asian communities can play a part, right? Whereby we are the meat and the topping, where the meat is actually the what we call the local knowledge or local language models, not really the large language models, the entire internet, but specific local knowledge. And like you said earlier, right at the beginning, Southeast Asia, we have 2,300 languages, right? And obviously the culture, the different industries, and they have very specific local knowledge in different countries. And that's where each of these country ecosystem players can help to develop the AI application tools for that layer, right? And then finally, the topping on the top is actually the application, which I mentioned earlier about if you give the tools to the subject matter experts, the local subject matter experts, it's just amazing what creativity they can come up with to develop applications and solutions for their own pain points, right? So that's where the topping is.
It's a local flavor.
Yeah. So I do think that it's great opportunity for more and more startups from Asia and Southeast Asia to leverage on what the big boys are developing and building, and develop the local solutions for their ecosystem, their respective ecosystem. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And Khan.
Yeah, I completely concur with Edwin's point there. I think what I really like to see the regions do for the next 3-5 years are we should move away from this whole story about U.S.-China tensions. We have the know-how. I think we have the human power that are required to develop our own large language model, for example, right? I think recently the Singapore government was the one who first announced that they're going to invest 70 million to create a first Southeast Asia large language model. I think that's going to be crucial for the development of the global AI landscape as a whole. Instead of having these certain few major players like OpenAI or a few players in Europe and in China dominating the landscape, what I really love to see is our own large language models and other applications spawning from the regions in the next few years.
Great. And we are out of time, and I thank you very much. Thank you to my panelists over here, and thank you for the session.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming, everyone.